I'm Thomas. I work at GitLab as a full stack engineer, and today I'm going to show you a quick example of two ways how we could manage our fork of VS Code. So currently we are using this fork process where we rebase our changes always on the latest VS Code main. And I'm suggesting that instead of doing the rebasing and force pushing, we might want to try to use patches. And to best illustrate these two approaches, I decided to upgrade our VS Code from version 169.1 to 171.1 in for both approaches. So let's start with our current approach. So we've got this this branch that has the VS Code. If I'll do version, it's got the VS Code 169.1. And now if I do git log, you'll see these are our commits that we've built on top of the original vanilla VS Code. And so when we want to update to a newer version, our process is currently that we do git checkout. Let's call it 171. That's where we are going to update. The process is a little bit different, but I already have plenty of branches in this repository, so upgrade. So I'll check out a new branch, then I'll reset and to the 171.1 version. And now I need to rebase all our changes that you see here on top of this new tag, the 171.1. And how we do it is git rebase I, and no, I'm going to go back to check out this original branch. And now I can do the rebase without having to first reset. So I'm going to do git rebase I 171.1. Now I'll see the list of commits that I'm rebasing on top of the newest tag. And here you notice that few of them are from the original repo, because the VS Code team, when they are releasing, they create a few commits that are only for the tag. They are not part of the main branch. And so I need to remove these. They are not the commits that we added. And then we've got all of these. Those are our commits on top of VS Code, and I want to rebase those. Now there should be some conflicts. You can have a look and resolve them here. So there is a conflict with package JSON. I've already went through this process, so I was expecting it. We added our own task, and the VS Code team added another task to the script. And I just want to add both. And that should resolve the conflict. No, I need to first save it. Okay, and the conflict is resolved. Now, git rebase, continue. And there is another conflict. This one should be much larger. It's like the VS Code team removed this file with some telemetry. So I'm going to accept current. I think that's current. That's it being deleted, is accepting current. Delete file. And that's it. There were a few other conflicts, not conflicts, but we changed a package JSON files and the unlock files the same way. We removed the Microsoft application inside dependency, but this was the only conflict. And I'll do this git rebase continue. Okay, and so now we've got our updated version. And now we would have to go through the process of, I'm going to show it, we should have it somewhere. I'm going to try to find the merge request, and I'll explain it with update the fork process. Here we go. Okay, so now what we would have to do, we would have to do diff the diffs. So let's do that to check what we've changed. I'll just copy this command. And we want to go between the original branch that we had here was, this was, this would be the original main. And we are testing between 169.1, and this is our new branch. Which is 171 one upgrade, and we are testing it. So now we are pretty much comparing the old stack of our changes against the new stack of our changes. And we do that, and this is the result. And now we would have to go and check what is there is a lot of yarn-lock changes that are there. I'm just going to pipe it into something like Vim, just so we get a so what is here? I think that's too many changes. I wasn't expecting that. Let me check whether I've made a mistake. Of course I made a mistake. There is a wrong version here. Alright, this should be a little bit more. Yes, this is what I would expect. So here there are some changes related to that package JSON task, and then there is a large portion of changes that are related to, like, this is the removed file, I think. This is, yeah, some changes now and more yarn log files. So this would be our process. We would check this, and then we would say, okay, this is okay. We would push it into, we would push this new branch into our CI, test that the build is green, and then we would force push it over master. And now I want to show you the alternative approach. Okay, so now we are in the project where I'm using the patch strategy. I'm going to show you how the project is structured. So here you see we have a VS Code submodule in the source control tab. You can see it clearly. There is a VS Code submodule that's in the version 169.1. And the rest of it is our patches. The rest of the repository are our patches, a few build scripts, and that's more or less it. If we make any changes to this repository, we don't need to create patches for it. We might not even have to put it in the changelog. But if we make any patches on top of the VS Code submodule, it's going to be self-documented. The patches look like this. The one notable thing that we will soon see about the patches is that they are not Git-based. So you don't have the SHA information, and the merge is a little bit trickier than what we saw with the force push strategy. So let's get to it. if I want to apply all the patches, I would run quilt push A, and that would push all the patches on top of VS Code. And here now we'll see that the VS Code submodule is patched with all the changes that we made at this task, and you would see some changes to settings that we've made, and for example the conflicting insiders. I'm gonna remove all the patches again so it's in a clean state. Quilt. Okay. And now I'm gonna update the VS Code submodule. I'm gonna just check out 171.1. Okay, that's done. The submodule is updated. You can see that here in the status it says that there is a change to the submodule. And now I can try to apply the patches. So I do quilt, push, try to apply all of them, and I get rejection here in package.json. So quilt doesn't give me any nice view for merging, and I have to pretty much run the same task with F, and that will create a rejection file that I can then inspect. There is this package.json rejection that will show me what the change was that we tried to apply, and then I have to go and also I'm gonna go open package.json. So this is the div, and I can look and see that we were trying to add another script, which is this one. I'm gonna go to package.json, and I'm gonna add that script. Now, since I've done that, I changed the package.json, I can remove the rejection file. And I will go here and I can say quilt refresh. And that will take the newest package.json and makes a patch for it. So if I do that, you would see that my patch for the changing JavaScript changed. A little bit of the line changed, and I'm adding the new script after the web view generates CSP hash instead of extension CI. And now that I updated the script, I can do quilt push and continue with trying to apply the other patches. Now this is trickier. This is the issue when we both the VS Code team and us removed the Microsoft Application Insights dependency. And if I'll try to cross push it so I generate all the rejection files, there's going to be plenty of them. Now, pretty much what I see is that we try to remove this dependency from package.json, and so I can try to go into VS Code Remote Web, Remote Web, package.json, and try to look for the Microsoft Application Insights, and I don't see it. So I see that the Microsoft team removed it, and I could repeat the same process for all the remaining package.jsons, and it's the same for all of them. So I pretty much can accept the VS Code team's version. I can remove these rejection files, and here I can do quilt refresh. that tells me that there is nothing in the patch, and so I can delete it. And I can apply the rest of the patches if there are any. And that's it. So now I would have a look at what's changed. And here I would want to remove all the patches. So the VS Code is in its vanilla state. Pop. And now I could do git add dot, but I want to ignore the temporary files, so I would just git update, and that would be it. Update to 170.11. And so you can tell that the merging is a little bit more difficult. And I was thinking that we might introduce something like when the merge conflict gets really complicated, you commit your changes in that VS Code submodule and try to resolve the conflict using Git, and then take a snapshot of it with the patch. So the resolving merge conflicts might be more complicated than with the force push strategy, but if there are no conflicts or the general committing and upgrading is much simpler because you don't have to force push anywhere and there is much less space for a human error. And so that's my introduction. I wanted to show you this, and we'll continue discussion on the issue.